I just made a video 2 days ago saying that Barcelona could win the Champions League, and they go and do this. I cannot believe what I have just watched. I cannot believe what I have just witnessed, because Atletico Madrid 4, Barcelona 0. Generally sat there tonight and couldn't believe some of the stuff I was seeing. I couldn't believe some of the stuff I was seeing. I have praised this Barcelona team, and it hurt me to praise them. It absolutely hurt me to praise my arch rivals. But Barcelona go and do the exact opposite of what I've been saying, and they got absolutely dismantled tonight, and we have to talk about it. Of course, look, Barcelona, no Pedri, no Rafinha, no Rashford. Of course, they have so many injuries. There was no doubt this would have been tough. And of course, going away to Atletico is always a difficult game. Real Madrid lost their 5-2 this season. It's always a difficult game, don't get me wrong, but I did not expect what I seen tonight, because some of the goals tonight were absolutely comical defending from Barcelona, but also incredibly sharp and efficient attacking from Atletico Madrid. We have to talk about the first goal of the game. Juan Garcia, he has been absolutely faultless this season. I think he's been one of the best keepers in the world, so he was, bound to make a mistake, but he came at the wrong time, because Atletico Madrid started pressing Barcelona very, very high in this game and very intensely, and Barcelona build-up was just absolutely shocking. Now, yes, Pedri is not there, so that was expected. I've said this before. Pedri's in Barcelona's build-up, even if Frenkie is playing. Pedri is the main player in that midfield. Now, of course, Casado started in the midfield today with Frenkie de Jong. You also had Olmo and Fermin. So that was the kind of the 4 midfield that was trying to, cause that little square to outnumber Koke and in that midfield. But Casado had an absolute horror. We'll get onto him in a minute. But look, Barcelona build-up was really, really shocking in the first 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes. And Atletico had a few, they had a big chance by Simeone. They had half a chance by Alvarez. So they could have been 2-3-0 in the first 15 minutes. And Juan Garcia saved a huge Simeone chance, to keep Barcelona 0-0 at that point. But then he gives away this comical goal. He gets the ball, pass back to Eric Garcia, and he goes to touch the ball, and he's looking at the play, and he just lets it in. What an absolutely shocking start by Barcelona after, 6 minutes to get that own goal by Eric Garcia he came onto. It was absolutely shocking for Barcelona. And I was thinking to myself, this is the worst I've seen Barcelona start in a long time. And look, Atletico has always talked about being this defensive team, but they started really, really intensely and pressed Barcelona really high. And like I said, Barcelona's build-up just collapsed with Casado. Goals by Griezmann for the 2-0. You have to go and watch Atletico Madrid's keeper Musa in this game. How he, passed that ball out from, well, it was a transition, because Olmo had the worst corner kick I've ever seen in my life. He kicked it straight to the keeper, and he set off Lookman who found Molina who found Griezmann. It was absolutely counter-attacking billions. And aside from the goals, look, Lookman got the 3rd goal, and then Alvarez got the goal before half-time, but fact of the matter is 4-0 at half-time when it could have been 7 and 8. And you're looking at the XG, you're looking at the shots as well. It was at 7 shots in total, and 6 were on target, 4 were goals. They were so efficient. It was incredible. And aside from the goals, Barcelona were massively struggling with the high line again, as we know. Now, of course, Atletico Madrid did line up with 4 attackers, with Giuliano Simeone, of course, Alvarez, Griezmann, and also Lookman. So they clearly, Simeone clearly emphasized and kind of had a plan to get behind this high line. But it was incredible how many times they got in behind. And this is the thing that I've been saying before about Hansi Flick, and this high line is gonna come and bite them. And when I made that video a couple of days ago, I said, great teams or good teams with good attackers will punish Barcelona, and this is, of course, the high risk, high reward scheme that he wants to do. We have to talk about Barcelona today. That is one of the worst performances I've seen from a Barcelona team in a long time, especially under Hansi Flick. Some of the build-up issues that you guys, Barcelona had today was absolutely unbelievable. Yes, Pedri isn't there, but Casado, what has happened to him? Yes, he's had a few injuries, yes, but he had great potential, and watching him today, he could not control a game whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying he should control a game like Pedri. I'm not saying that. But some of the giveaways that he was doing today when he was pressed high was absolutely shocking. And some of the times he wasn't even pressed. It was kind of the other teams were being pressed over guys like Frenkie, Olmo, and Fermin. He was trying to, kind of combine together. And he was giving the ball away. And it was no surprise, because in the 36th minute, Hansi Flick took him off for Lewandowski. And then, Ferran Torres went to the left wing. So, listen, this was an absolute absolute shocking performance from Barcelona as a whole. But Barcelona were hard done by because, of course, Koulibaly getting a goal back in that second half. But Barcelona were a lot better, by the way. In the first 5 to 10 minutes, they were really going for it, and Koulibaly got a goal. Now, look, I've looked back at this offside. It was an 8-minute VAR check, which is incredible and pretty embarrassing, to be honest, because it completely killed Barca's momentum. And I thought Barcelona looked pumped to get a few goals back. Yes, they might not have drawn or won the game, but at least get a few goals back to take to Camp Nou for the second leg. But look, Koulibaly, got this goal disallowed because Lewandowski, by his heel, was offside. Now, I've looked at 2-3 different angles, and I'm going to be honest, guys, the fact that it took 8 minutes kind of shows me that they were trying to find something that shouldn't have been found. And I just think watching that angle is a heel, and he doesn't look offside to me. So look, that's very, very unfortunate for Barcelona. Of course, the ball came in, it hits Lewandowski before it gets to Koulibaly. Now, of course, they said Lewandowski was injured, so look, that was a big momentum killer for Barcelona. But look, it would have been 4-1, so let's not say they got robbed, but it would have been a momentum to at least get maybe a second or third goal, which would have been a lot better than 4-0, which they never to be finished. Eric Garcia gets a red card towards the end, which was a definitely red card. To be honest, Barcelona could have also had a red card, favoured them when Balde got injured by Giuliano Simeone. So Look, it could have been evened out, of course. Like I said, I mean, this embarrassing Spanish Federation's refereeing. The fact that it took 8 minutes to check a decision like that, again, is embarrassing. If it's an obvious error, surely you would have known straight away. I mean, why is it taking so long when the goal was given? Now, VAR is only supposed to intervene when it's an clear and obvious error. So if it's a clear and obvious error, why is it taking you 8 minutes to decide something? And look, I'm saying that as a Real Madrid fan. I'm just being honest, as always. We have to talk about some individuals today because Lamine Yamal is the one that stands out to me. Lamine Yamal today didn't do what he's supposed to do. He didn't take his team on his back and kind of create something or trying to score any goals. Of course, he tried, but what I'm saying is he wasn't efficient enough and he wasn't sharp whatsoever. Now, Ruggeri and Lookman on that left side for Atletico Madrid, right hand side for Barca, they were constantly double teaming him, but he could have done a lot better by being a bit quicker with his touches. But look, apart from that, everyone else for Barcelona were absolutely shocking. I mean, the only standout for me is probably Koundé, I thought, which is ironic because, he's had the worst season from anyone. He was absolutely fantastic today. I thought he did his job really well against Lookman. Lookman did get a goal, of course, but that was from a transition. So, fact of the matter is, I thought Koundé was excellent. Everyone else was pretty shocking. Casado probably being the worst player on the team. And look, pennies for Barcelona's thoughts. Of course, going into that second leg now, if they got a 1 or 2 goals back, this would have been a lot better. But we have to talk about Hansi Flick because this is what I keep saying about him constantly wanting to be this high line thing. It can hurt them, and that's happened today. They were so sharp today, and like I said in my video a couple of days ago, if a team is sharp, if a team is, great on the day, they could smash Barcelona. And like I said before, this could have been even worse. Look at the stats towards the end. 2.33 XD for Barcelona and only 1.02 for Barcelona. 14 shots for Barca, 4 on target, 2 big chances and 2 big chances missed. And let's come to this, 12 shots, 8 shots on target and 4 big chances. Now, of course, they had more possession, Barcelona. They had more accurate passes, which you would expect, but the efficiency wasn't there today. The chance creation wasn't there today, and that is what proves my point that I think Pedri and, of course, Rafinha are the 2 most important players for Barcelona. I think for the build-up, of course, Pedri is just, you can't replace him, but Rafinha as well. This is what I keep saying to you guys. Our possession, his runs, his mentality, his intensity, his leadership, there's no one else that can do that for Barcelona. And today, of course, you've seen Ferran Torres playing at the 9, then you've seen kind of Fermin on the left, or Dani Olmo again. I mean, this is another guy that Flick constantly plays. That's another kind of red flag because I don't see what Dani Olmo provides for this football club and what he provides in these big games. Yes, he can score bangers like he does, but the rest, if you actually watch Barcelona, the rest of his game is pretty shocking. For Fermin Lopez didn't have an effective game today at all. I've been very impressed with him so far this season, but I don't think he was great tonight. Again, in a big game, I thought against Real Madrid he was okay. Against Chelsea he wasn't fantastic either. So this is another thing where he hasn't been great. Lewandowski, like I said before, he's just too old at this point. I don't think he can actually damage any big team anymore. And then, of course, the question mark was Casado starting over Bernal, but I can see why Flick didn't start Bernal because he wants to ease him into it. But then again, constantly starting Casado when he's playing like this. I mean, he's not been great at all this season, apart, when he's been fit. So I just think Flick's decisions now are kind of, coming back to bite him now because some of these players look tired because they've been overplayed, and then some of these players, because of their form, are now hurting Barcelona's in the game. So, penny for Flick's thoughts. Of course, Barcelona go into the Camp Nou in a couple of weeks' time, 4-0 down. 4-0 down. I can't believe what I just witnessed today. Atletico Madrid absolutely destroying Barcelona after I've just praised them 2 days ago. It's absolutely incredible. But look, let me know your thoughts in the comments, Barcelona fans. What happened today? What happened to your team today? Because you guys got absolutely destroyed and that was so unexpected. And of course, Real Madrid fans, are you happy with that result? Are you happy that Barcelona got a mauling same as Real Madrid did? And of course, any other contracting points, guys, don't forget to always leave your comments in the comment section. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, Hala Madrid.